something has been bothering me. So the other day at the co-working space, Ailish, who sits right behind me, she kind of sees that I'm not having a great day. She kind of sees that like my head's on my desk. She looks at me, she's like, Mike, takes her laptop, slams it down, and she's like, talk to me. And I'm just like, just going through some crap right now. And I was just having a moment and just wasn't having a really good day. And she looks at me and she says, sounds like you need a margarita, which was an awesome idea. It really changed my mood, really changed just the trajectory of my night and the next day. But here we are 2 days later, and now I'm kind of feeling like I'm back in that same old place again. So we're gonna try that one more time. Oh my gosh, shoot. Yeah, that's pretty dang good. This is a Portuguese wine. It's called Bodego. Bigode. After margarita night, I was in such a good mood. I got some work done. Something that I've been working on along this trip has been editing video and just like working on film, working on video, and just learning the process. And I have absolutely loved that. A big reason why I wanted to travel is to get new creative inspiration. It's been just over 6 months now, and yeah, a lot of things have changed. A lot of unforeseen circumstances and just things started to happen along this journey, particularly the coronavirus. Every time I say coronavirus, I'm gonna drink. I swear I'm not an alcoholic. What's been on my mind recently is the whole coronavirus thing, okay? It's been such a nuisance. It's like a little mosquito. You just can't get rid of it. No matter where you go, no matter where you hide, it's gonna come find you. And so when I was in Asia, when it first started to creep out, when I first heard of it in Taiwan, I was like, okay, well, is this the start of something crazy? Is this the start of something big? I'm not sure. People started to freak out a little bit. And there was a guy in my co-working space. I love the guy, Eddie. You're the coolest dude. You're such a cool dude. Oh my God. I stole that from him.
Oh my gosh, you must be having so much fun without me.
He full on just got so spooked that he just like left for Chicago. You know, so there was a sense of panic that started to build around this whole coronavirus. And, you know, I didn't really think too much about it, right? And for one, I didn't really want to let that control the way I lived. I didn't want to let that control the way I traveled. So after Taiwan, I was there for like, I think over 2.5 months. And after Taiwan, I went to the Philippines. In Manila, at least, I started to realize, it started to spread, and the whole coronavirus situation, and it just started to spread. It started to become like a really serious thing. In all the malls that I went to in Manila, at all the different hotels and the big establishments, there were security checks at every entrance, temperature checks. They even had like this crazy looking heat sensor. It looked like an iPhone on a tripod, and as you'd walk by, it was like an infrared sensor. I was like, frig, this is like a video game. I'm like, am I on Call of Duty right now? This is crazy. So they had that, those temperature sensors, and it just started to become more rampant. After the Philippines, the original plan was to go to Singapore and then off to Sri Lanka. I just wanted to spend my time in Asia for the whole year because I was going to end up in Tokyo for the 2020 Olympics. Now that's in limbo. I don't know if that's even happening. I don't know if that's going to be postponed, canceled, and the status of that is like up in the air right now. Then this whole coronavirus situation started this whole coronavirus this whole coronavirus thing, this whole thing just really started to take off. And so I was like, okay, let's take a step back here. Let's take a step back here.
Let's take a step back here.
Let's reevaluate, right? So this was my frame of mind. I got this from my friend Mike that I met in Taiwan. He's an Australian guy. And we were talking about it because we're both like, okay, well, who knows? Let's kind of like monitor the situation, see what happens. Where's this going to go? What direction is this going to take? Let's play the situation out. Let's say we were to get the virus. Now, you're on the road. Where do you want to be if you get the virus? We're just like, well, I don't really want to be in Sri Lanka. I don't want to be in a place where healthcare is not, to my standard, something that's not going to be too complicated, if you will. I don't even know if my health insurance or my like travel insurance is even going to cover me in this situation. Okay, shoot, that's a good point. Sri Lanka can wait, right? I really wanted to go there. I really wanted to eat the curry. I really wanted to get into a tuk-tuk. I really wanted to like avoid getting hit by a bus in Sri Lanka. I wanted to go see Adam's Peak. I wanted to go do all the things. Well, let's make that executive decision. Let's cut that trip. So that was Sri Lanka. I actually already booked my flight to Singapore. I was already supposed to be in Singapore. I was gonna go see some family friends, gonna go see a friend, and that just didn't happen. And Singapore was a great country. They've been handling the situation very, very well, but they had a high incidence rate. And I was just like, man, I kind of want to just run to the hills. It just started to like cast this shadow, this like fear over me about where I was going to travel to. But what it really did was it just started to eat at me. It started to take away from my mental energy. It really just like, I would think about it a lot. I would wake up, I'd have this routine where I'd check my phone, I'd check the computer, I'd check all the recent articles. I really tried my best to be informed, you know, like I wouldn't just like completely buy into this hype. I would like refer to some of my friends who are medical doctors, who are in med school, or people who are into the scientific world. Like I do have that scientific inclination. I do want to like read up on things and want to do my own research. And at the end of the day, in terms of health, I've realized you really got to become your own expert in whatever, in your own body, in your own health. And it's just been taking away from my trip. And I really didn't like that feeling. It really just like cramped my style. And I was just like, man, get out of my head. Get out.
Get out, coronavirus.
Gah. Oh man. I was like, okay, well, maybe Asia is not the right place to be at this moment. Maybe like I can put Asia on hold. I skipped Singapore and I went to Portugal. Here I am, Portugal. It's really sad. It's really conflicting for me because this trip for me has been such an important phase, if you will. It's such an important event in my life, but the whole coronavirus situation, it was just like a lingering thought. You couldn't just like flick it away. You can't ignore it. You can't sweep it under the rug anymore. I thought it would pass. It only just begun. I feel like it's just beginning. The fact that it really takes away from my mental capacity, it really affected my creative ability. Just to clarify, this trip hasn't just been straight up adventure. For me, it was all about creative inspiration, seeking new inspiration, finding creative ways to like create art and just like learn about myself. And I have loved this process of filmmaking. Just being reinvigorated again and just being creative has been so important to me. Like so important. You guys don't even understand like how like important it is for me just to like express myself, to get the creative juices flowing, to think about things in an alternative way, like not so normal, out of the box style thinking. That's who I am. I'm not your regular person. Like my Instagram bio for the longest time has been just an unregular guy. When I would read it, I would sing in a jingle. I'd be like, just an unregular guy. Blah. Back to the whole coronavirus thing. The coronavirus. I've been doing a lot of things, meeting a lot of people, just experiencing culture and just having new experiences all around every single day. That has been phenomenal. That has been great. And I think traveling has really opened my mind in so many ways. But what's more important to me than anything else is just the growth and the fact that I am growing creatively. I'm learning a new skill through video, and that is something I really, really enjoy. I really like taking something, taking like a vision and having it come to life through video. And that's a big reason why I love cooking, because it's the same thing. It's like cooking for me is like a creative outlet where I can take all these different ingredients, follow a recipe, go off the cuff, do my own thing. At the end of like the hour, I have a brand new meal. I have something tangible. I have a result. I'm done with it. And that is more important to me than anything. Just the creation. Now, the fact that this coronavirus situation is just becoming more of a thing, I just read, like right before I started filming this, the whole entire nation, Italy, is on quarantine right now. What it's really done to me, it's just taken my ability to work. It's taken my ability to think creatively, because it's just consuming my thoughts. Like I'm walking down the street, you see someone cough, like, I'll be like,
Frig, you probably don't have the virus, but I still don't want to be around you.
I don't want to like be in your vicinity. I don't want to be behind you. And then when I'm walking and someone's coughing, I just like hold my breath and I go like, I don't like living like this. And so it's just affected me on so many levels. Like if I get the virus, I get the virus. As a person who's relatively young and I would consider myself pretty fit, if I were to contract the virus, not to say I'm invincible, but I do, like the odds are in my favor. I do have a good chance to recover from this virus. But that's not what's like really, that's not the big thing for me. What I'm trying to say is that like, I made that decision to go home. I'm gonna be going home. I'm cutting my trip short. This was a perfect opportunity to go home because video that I'm working on from September, there's so many things I want to create now. So part of this whole struggle being in Portugal, I couldn't find a place that I wanted to set up shop because I wanted to like create videos. I want to like set up lighting. I want to set up an overhead rig. I want to do like all my product reviews. And I feel like it'll be so much easier to do those things if I can set up shop somewhere where I don't have to think about like this crap. Not to say that there's no coronavirus in my hometown, because there is, but I get to be in a place where I'm covered by healthcare. I get to do my taxes. I get good Chinese food again, which I'm craving because Chinese food is just so dang delicious. I get to see my family. I get to see my niece and nephew. I get to see the other 3 kids in my life. I get to see my grandma. I get to see my mom and dad. I get to see my brother, my aunts, my cousins, my uncles. I get to see the Tom family, my friends. So this has been a really tough situation for me. I've been trying to fight it for a long time. You know, when you have these expectations where you plan to be on the road for so long and then something happens out of your control and just like derails you. You know, when I think about some of these people that get on these cruise ships, the fact that these people like knowingly and just like voluntarily subjected themselves to be on a cruise ship, which is inherently a petri dish because it's always been that way. Norovirus, some kind of flu, it always happens on cruise ships. It's just like a cesspool. If one person gets sick, it's gonna spread. These cruise ships in Cambodia and the Diamond Princess in Japan, like these things actually happened. The fact that these people on the Grand Princess continue to do that, you know, I understand that because like you kind of have this sense of invincibility that like when you're on the road, it's not gonna happen to me, but it can. And if it does, like how do I want to handle this? Do I want to like continue living my life right now, being with this like cloud hanging over my head and this like anxiety and fear that like something's going to happen? right? Again, it's not about that. It's not about contracting. It's just like what happens next. And you're going to strain the medical system. You're going to, you know, like you're going to expose all these people like that don't even want to help. Just like imagine that, like the hospital staff, the doctors, the nurses, like the porters, like the administrative clerks, like just imagine what they go through. Imagine waking up every single day and being like, oh my gosh, I gotta go to work today. I gotta do my duties. Is today gonna be my day? Oh my gosh, like I don't want that burden. I don't want that burden on me. I don't want that on my family. I don't want that on my friends. I don't want that on anybody. It's my responsibility as a traveler who is like gonna be exposed to these like high risk areas, if you will, and transit points and airports and bus stations and public gatherings and like all that stuff. It's just like, man, maybe I need to be a recluse right now. And so it's just like the perfect opportunity to do so. Like, settle down and just work on my video, work on my channel, and just like create stuff, because there's just so many things that I want to do. And then if I go home, I'm gonna get myself a monitor, a big old monitor, big ass monitor, so I can actually see things instead of using this like 13-inch thing. I went from a triple monitor setup to a 13-inch monitor. I want another monitor really bad. But if you are watching, you are following along, I really appreciate that. You guys know it's not something I've been like pushing down your throats or anything. It's just like I've been creating videos, I put them out there, and if you see them, thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. You know, I do like from time to time, I do check if people are watching. I want to see if people like where people stop watching, you know, like so I'll know when to cut things off, where to stop talking. And still, like some of these videos, I don't even feel comfortable watching, but it's just like, again, it's part of this process of learning and growing and becoming better and just honing your skills. But yeah, so this whole trip, it is coming to an end for now. You know, one thing that's been really important for me along this journey is that like I can continue this at another time. There'll be other opportunities to travel. How do we do? Until next time, that's all I want to say for now. I really appreciate you. Like, thanks guys. Coronavirus, 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 coronavirus. Dunzos. The Gunzos.